All right, so today we're going deep on something that hits close to home for a lot of folks, IVF.
Yeah, and get this, it all started with a listener sending in this article about a recent executive order that Trump signed about, IVF
Oh
costs.
yeah, I saw this one. Wild, right? We're going to unpack this whole thing. This order's like a tiny little crack that leads into this whole, maze of issues.
Totally, we're talking healthcare costs,
Reproductive rights.
state versus federal power, all that.
So let's, zoom in on this executive order for a sec. It was signed in February, right? Basically, Trump saying, hey, administration, figure out how to make IVF cheaper.
And the thing is, like the article mentions, health insurance companies, they don't have to cover IVF right now.
Which
That
means
means people are paying like an arm and a leg out of pocket, tens of thousands of dollars sometimes.
it's crazy. Okay, so rewind to the 2024 campaign. Trump's on the stump, promising to make IVF more affordable, says either the government or insurance companies will foot the bill.
Sounds good, right? But then, like literally weeks later, Senate Republicans, they blocked legislation that would have done exactly that.
Wait, hold up. So Republicans were against making IVF more affordable?
Okay, so it's complicated. Republicans said the bill was too broad. They said, "Yeah, we support IVF," but they didn't like the specifics of the bill.
So it's like classic political, what do you call it, maneuvering.
Yeah, basically, it shows you how like messy all this stuff is. Like how politics can get in the way of what people actually need?
Totally. And speaking of messy, the article brings up this whole other thing about, Alabama. Their Supreme Court, they ruled that frozen embryos are legally kids.
Yeah, I know, right? It's huge. Like the article said it could lead to like wrongful death lawsuits if an embryo doesn't make it through IVF.
No way. Seriously.
Seriously, some clinics in Alabama actually stopped doing IVF because of this.
Wow. So it's like decisions at the state level are shaking things up big time.
Big time.
And then you've got Trump's executive order coming from the feds.
Right, trying to do something at the national level.
It's like a total tug of war.
It is, and it raises so many questions, like what happens when federal and state laws clash like this? Who gets to decide?
Right. And then there's the whole ethical side of things. Like with this Alabama ruling, how do you even define life? It's like mind-blowing.
It really is, and this whole conversation, it goes way beyond just the cost of IVF. We're talking about fundamental rights,
Absolutely. Access to health care.
bodily autonomy.
The role of government? It's a lot.
It is. And for our listener, this is where like you come in, we've laid out all these different pieces, but now it's up to you to kind of like put them together. What do you think about all this?
Yeah, where do you stand on all of this? Is access to IVF something everyone should have? What about the balance of power between states and the feds, especially when it comes to healthcare? We really want to know what you think.
Because this deep dive, it's not just about giving you answers. It's about asking the right questions.
So keep thinking about this stuff. Keep digging. Keep the conversation going. Because, trust me, there's a lot more to uncover here.
Absolutely. This is just the beginning. CEA